What is going on in this season? It feels as if the universe is conspiring against you. You're experiencing things that you don't.
It's a beautiful day. Get ready
to tune in to
the #1 chill spot on the internet.
But I'm ready to lock in, I'm ready to remove these barriers and these blocks. That's the attitude, right? First, we have to come back to that gratitude. Oh my God, Jah, thank you for the life that we are living. Sometimes we forget to have that gratitude, right? We be focusing on everything that's wrong, not realizing, oh my God, we are so blessed. We are so blessed. Let's take a moment for that and just have gratitude and have some grace for ourselves. Now, we're going to get to the work. You understand? We're going to lock in, my friend. There's so much opportunity for you. Literally so much opportunity for you if we can just move through this fear. We think we have to go around the fear. We think we have to dodge it. We think we have to hop over it. It's really just walking right through it. That's how we build a resilient spirit, tougher skin. You know what I realized? When you go through hard things in life, as hard as it is and tragic as it is, and the suffering, when you come out on the other end, you're a different person. In fact, you're a new person. I'm not just going to say you're stronger, you're more weathered, you're more resilient. All of that's true. But you're wiser. You're also more compassionate. You see things in different ways. Somebody can say something about you and it doesn't quite bother you because you know yourself. You've been through the mud and had to pick yourself back up. You think what they say about you is going to bother you? No. So sometimes when we're really going through it, regardless if it's personal, business, relationships, creative, and we're going through that mud, just know, we are molding ourselves right now. You understand? This is in our favor. We are moving in a direction where we become stronger, wiser, and on the other end of that, oh my God, we're going to illuminate our light. But this is a beautiful, beautiful season to lock in. If you're ready to lock in, let me hear you say, I'm ready to lock in. Put it in the chat, put in the comments. I'm ready to lock in. I'm ready to finally say no to everything that doesn't require my energy and my attention. Because a lot of us, I'll be honest, we've been a little slutty with our time. Somebody calls us Friday, hey, what you doing? Let's go to the movie. You're like, okay, fine. But you already told yourself you were going to work on this new business. Someone calls you and says, October, let's go take a trip. You don't want to let them down, so you go on that trip. But you told yourself it was time to lock in on these new studies. Some of us, we make way too many commitments because we're trying to maintain our friendships, which is beautiful. But in the pursuit of maintaining friendships or connections or your network, make sure you're not eroding your self-worth. The commitment you've made first to yourself, right? Because often what happens, if you're not showing up for yourself, right? You're saying yes to too many things and you're stretching your energy thin. And you're not doing what you really want to do. You're going to find yourself in a place a year or 2 years later where everyone else is doing the things you want to do. And now you're in a state of comparison, jealousy, all of that, Quick breath for ourselves. Quick breath of grace. Okay, let's breathe deep. Listen, #1 chill spot here on the internet.
The #1 chill spot on the internet.
We breathe deep. You understand? We come back to ourselves. We're not just about consuming information here, but we like to embed it into ourselves. What I like to do here is basically regulate your nervous system just a little bit because you have all the answers. I don't got the answers for you. You have the answers already. They are within you. But when our mind is overactive, right? And our nerves are simply just not at ease, we can't think. We can't move in the direction that matters. There's so much information all around us and within us. You understand? We have that divine connection with our divine ally that really, the answers are there for you. You just need to take a damn moment. So we're going to breathe 1 second. we're going to have to work incredibly hard. Last season we talked a lot about, we bloom with care, not speed. And I do believe in that. But some of us, we're going to have to pick up the speed, fail fast. We're going to have to fail forward, right?
Every day when you go to the gym, when you go to work, it's a challenge. You got to work hard, and you have to completely, tirelessly, countlessly, remind people of your vision.
Yeah.
No matter what. Anyone that's creative understands that there's no amount of money that can be given to them to make them not want to or have to create.
Yeah. There's no checkout.
There's no checkout, and there's no check
to
stop you.
What he said there was, you're going to have to constantly remind people of your vision. But really, we need to constantly remind ourselves of our vision, our purpose, our presence as purpose. But what are we trying to do on this planet? We have to remind ourselves, because every single day we're not going to have that conviction of like, yeah, I need to get up today and I need to do the work. Yeah, I need to get up today. I'm going to apply myself. Yeah, I'm going to get up today. I'm going to make something of myself. Truth is, every day you're not going to believe in yourself. You're just not. But with a step, and then you take another step, what happens? You start to craft belief in yourself, because you see the evidence, right? Because you're executing, you're showing up for yourself. But the more that we don't, what happens? We start to lose that belief in ourselves. And one of the trickiest places you can end up is simply not believing in yourself to do some of the most like basic things in our life. We become paralyzed by our own vision. Our visions can become prisons if we don't act. ACT, you have to listen. We need to act. Action creates transformation. It also produces information. You may go through a season where you experience everything that you don't want. It just may be like you're just like, yo, what is going on in this season? It feels as if the universe is conspiring against you, and you just feel like you're experiencing things that you don't want, things that don't align. You go into a creative direction, or a business, or a new job, or a relationship, or you move to a certain place, whatever it may be. You're experiencing what you don't like, what you don't want. So you can fine tune and move in the direction that matters, because now you have more information, right? So if that has been you, if you've been having these experiences, just untasteful experiences, experiencing things that you don't like, don't trip. This is information. This is good. I hate mayonnaise. Absolutely hate it. Can't stand mayonnaise. I tried mayonnaise once. What I do? Never tried it again. Actually, I tried it a couple more times after that. Give it a chance, but realized, nah, don't like mayonnaise. I have the information. I never order mayonnaise now. Once you know what you don't want, you don't have to waste your time anymore. A lot of the time, success and building something is really knowing what we don't want, right? So we're not committing to things and putting our energy in the wrong places, because you can work really hard at the wrong things. And if we are doing that, I say it's better to fail fast and then to fail forward, because you don't want to fail in a direction too slowly.
Never say you can't do it. Say I haven't done it yet.
Never say you cannot do it. I haven't done it yet. A lot of us, our visions become prisons because we don't think we can do it. I have like this idea of like this visual audio show, and it's very difficult. I've been behind the scenes. I've been trying to build it out. And sometimes I'm just like, oh, I can't. Listen, of course you can't do it. You haven't done it yet. When you tell your dreams to somebody and they don't really believe in you, it might even be your own parents, you know what I'm saying? And then you get mad. But like, what have you done for them to believe you can do it, right? They cannot see what is in your heart. So they're just judging your first few steps. The difference with us though is we can see and feel what is in our heart. So if you have this natural inclination to start something or do something, but then the fear comes into the process that I can't do it, you have to come back to the heart now. Why? Because you can see and feel what is in your heart. You have that privilege. Other people don't. That's why they don't believe in you. And who cares if they don't believe in you? That does not mean that they're a bad person either. When I was coming up, and even still to this point, Now I've done enough where certain people in my life, it's like, if you don't believe in me, you a dummy. That's on you. But in the beginning, right, I haven't done enough. So why are people going to believe? Like I always say, how do you explain something that's never been done before? How do you explain something that's never been done before? You are a one-on-one. The things you're going to do on this planet, the exact life that you're going to live, nobody else is going to have that exact life. So your ideas are so unique. They've never been done before in the way that you have done it. So why would other people believe in it? If they do, great, cherry on top. But you need to believe in it. So you have to come back to your heart and know, I can't doesn't mean I won't.
I haven't done it yet. And that's true with everything. It's like there's nothing that you can't do. You may not have done it yet. We don't know if you can do it or not until you really practice, and then you find out if you can do it or not, or how well you can do it.
Yeah.
And it's not going to happen without doing the work. So I would suggest that you write and record as much as you can all of the time. And instead of thinking of it as, think of it as a hobby. Just think my hobby is I'm going to write and record songs. And then there'll come a time through that process where you'll look back and go, I think this batch is ready to share with people.
The #1 chill spot.
On the internet.
Grab your tea, sit back, and tune in to the #1 chill spot on the internet.
I can't doesn't mean I won't. I can't doesn't mean I won't. There we go. The reminder deck has us covered. My own deck of cards. Look at that. I can't doesn't mean I won't. Literally what Rick Rubin was just saying, which means he realized that deep within himself. I realized that deep within myself. And you know that as well, which means it's a universal truth. Limitations are fucking real. Oh yeah, they're real. You understand? But they are not here to stop you. They're here to, in all reality, they're here to guide you, to mold you. You may not have the ability to accomplish your dream today. You may approach it. You may fail miserably. You may start that YouTube channel, fail miserably, reach success and fail again. But I can't doesn't mean I won't. I haven't doesn't mean I won't. It means that we got to be patient. When I mean patient, patient with ourselves, right? Doesn't mean that we're not doing the work. Patient with ourselves, right? Being mindful of how we're talking to ourselves. How you talk to yourself is very important, because we're moving into like the generations and decades where like the creative spirit is just going to be so it is so important. And when you speak to yourself, you're basically speaking to your inner child. When you beat yourself up, your inner child is just like, what are you doing? I'm trying to bring the best of energy out through you. I'm trying to play. But you speak to it in a way where it goes away. So we're patient with ourselves and we plan, because proper preparation prevents poor performance. And we prepare, and then through that, we move right through the procrastination, you know? I can't doesn't mean I won't. And I remind myself of that all the time. Like, oh yeah, just because I can't doesn't mean I won't. When I was younger, you know, I loved baseball. You know, baseball was my thing. And I was pretty good at first until I became aware that I could strike out. I never struck out at first, you know. Now, I also wanted to be the pitcher. So I had my sight, I had my vision on that, because the pitcher was like the star. I was like, I want to be the pitcher. But I was really out in the outfield, and I'll get quite distracted. You know, the pitcher had more action to me. When I was out in the outfield, I'd get bored. I'd be throwing my mitt in the air. I got ADHD. But anyways, I remember the first time I struck out, I became aware of failure. And I wish someone just pulled me aside and said, listen, failure is a necessary ingredient for your foundation. It's nothing to be afraid of. But I was so embarrassed by the failure, and I was so embarrassed to fail again. And I had so much emotion attached to it that every time I stepped up to that plate, it was incredibly difficult. I would strike out again. I literally do not think, I'm trying to think right now. I don't think that I hit that ball again. I didn't allow myself just to step up to there with like a playful energy. You know, I was just so focused on like, don't strike out, don't strike out. Stepping into a creative process or anything without believing you can do it is horrible. I don't care if you don't even know what you're doing. You need to step in with like a level of delusional faith. You understand? Like, I can do this. When I first started shooting music videos, I didn't know what I was doing, but I would just show up, shoot with pure raw energy, just raw talent, and figure it out. And I made really beautiful creations.
You know, what we believe has power. If we believe we can make something great, the chances of us making something great are better than if we don't believe we can. So I would say any ability to harness your belief on your behalf is a really healthy thing to do.
What? Any ability to harness belief on your behalf is a healthy thing to do. What can you do to harness belief today, right? Every time you don't show up for yourself, what happens? You erode your belief. I'm talking to myself, don't worry. But what can you do today that will give you 0.5% more belief in yourself, right? You think you need to be 100%. You think you need to be beyond confident right now. No. What can you do today to raise yourself 0.5% in belief and create that? Go with that rhythm, set that tempo, right? Now you have a little bit of momentum. Now you can apply that. My best creations have been the ones where I just stepped up to the plate and I was like, I'm gonna make something that's just so fire. And I believed in myself. I just knew, regardless of what I was doing, I was going to make something beautiful. One of my favorite creations that I'm quite proud of is the reminder deck. 33 reminders to tap into the boundless potential we each have to expand and grow. Every single card has its own illustration, its own color palette. The quality is top notch. We did not cut corners. I put a lot of money into it. You can actually find more information about it on my website, which is powered by our sponsor of the day, Squarespace, who makes it so possible as a creator to monetize your business and give you the tools that you need to continue to do what you're doing and succeed. They have several features to help elevate your online presence or your business. One of my favorites, AI and SEO tools. You can personalize your website with their new guided design system, Squarespace Blueprint, and choose from professionally curated layout and styling options to build a unique online presence from the ground up. Squarespace's optimized SEO tools help you show up more often to more people and grow the way you want. Once you have those customers, you can also offer them flexible payments. You can now make checkout seamless for your customers with simple but yet powerful payment tools. Accept credit cards, PayPal, and Apple Pay, and in eligible countries, offer customers the option to buy now and pay later. And with Squarespace, you can now stretch your imagination with Squarespace's fluid engine and use the power of Squarespace AI to kickstart or update written content on any website. No more stressing what to say, what to type down. You can generate instant personalized text, making it easier to go live, stand out, and succeed online. So if you're ready to take your online presence to the next level, head to squarespace.com for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch your website or domain, go to squarespace.com/HINDZ to save 10% off your first purchase.
The #1 chill spot on the internet.
One of the best compliments I think I ever had in my entire career was a woman standing up in the audience and saying, you know, I feel so good now. Thank you. You know, and I just thought that was great. You know, I'm not so much into people being wowed over my technique or what I can do, stuff like that. That's just a vehicle for me. That's just a vehicle for my spirit.
We are basically vehicles you know, to bring beautiful works into the world, inspiration. Like I truly believe that we're all reflections of one another. And I think where we could lose ourselves in our creative process is when we have too much of our ego wrapped up in it, where we want people to be wowed by our skills, right? Like your skills should be so good that people almost forget like the level of effort and energy you put into it, because it just feels flawless. You understand? It's like almost like it's second nature. You know, my goal is to be able to like create like a visual audio show that just seems so cohesive with the sounds, the music, my messages, but it's all being constructed live. But I don't even want really people to recognize that I'm doing it live. It just feels good, right? It uplifts them. I'm a firm believer that, like Bob said, he's like, yo, the bad-minded people in the world, you know, they take no days off. So why should we? I believe we need to bring balance into the world, you know, offer each other beautiful works, things that allow us to think deeper, that challenge us, you know, that inspire us, that motivate us. I love going online and just seeing how many people are now just offering motivation. There was once a time where people thought it was cringe to like get online and like cheer people on, to hype people up. It's like they looked at it like it was cringy, but now it's like people see the value in supporting one another, giving each other the reminders, the motivation. Oh my God, I went through this hard lesson. This is what I learned. You don't have to go through what I went through. You know, we're doing things to make sure the next generation is better, that we all are better. And that is the power of your creative gifts. That is the power of you. Everything that you go through, you can basically turn into, you know, a beautiful offering for somebody else and wisdom for your future self, right? So you're equipping yourself to walk through any future storm with a little bit more calm and grace. You know, you're more equipped and you're building your house on a strong foundation.